Good morning, Navdeep. Wow, it's so nice that you all made it.
เราบอกนักเรียนดีมีกี่คน
Of course, it depends outside.
4 person ในเรื่องตัวเอง
Okay, then we'll open to page 52. You know, part of this material we're reading is about banking, and it's also about what we can do about poverty, people who are really poor and cannot rise out of it. And this morning I heard on the news, you know, in the United States we have 2 houses. We have, in Congress, we have a House of Representatives and we have Senate. And we have 2 parties, Republican and Democrats. I'm only explaining this because this is controlled by the Republicans and this is controlled by the Democrats. And this morning I heard on the news that this House voted to cut about $50 million in food stamps. And they're going to require that people who collect food stamps, good morning, people, you know, food stamps, you get stamps from the government and you can take it to the grocery store and get food if you're below a certain income. So they want to cut people from getting the food stamps, and they want to introduce a provision which says that if you're collecting food stamps and you don't have a minor child, a small child, that you have to show you're looking for a job. And this House, controlled by the Democrats, they're totally against it. They want the food stamps for everyone. So I'm only mentioning this as like, this is like an ongoing argument in the US all the time. Some people who say, we have to help poor people, give them food stamps so that they can eat. And people who say, oh no, we have to force these people to go out to work. All over the world, argument this way. I have to move, I'm moving over here to get away from the mosquito. I've gotten bitten by a mosquito over there, so I'm staying over here. Excuse me. Mosquito, yeah. It's biting me. Okay, so please, on page 52, we were on number 5. And we're giving the part of speech of the underlined word and meaning. All right, so Bear, would you read number 5, please?
Number 5. With careful planning and cooperation, most people use the money well and then flow both money and knowledge back into their communities. Part of its work.
Yes, good. Wow, is to put stuff back. And what they're talking about here are grants. In the preceding sentence, they were talking about grants. Remember we said there are some funds that give people grants that don't have to be paid back. Okay, and what about the meaning?
Possible meaning, put money back.
Exactly. Very good. Put money back in. Young about the Thai word for meaning of social status, which comes up a lot in this article. And Bear, what did you tell me the Thai expression was?
สถานะทางสังคม
Okay, because in this article we read that when women, very poor women, are able to get a loan and start a small business, it not only gives them some income so that they can buy food for their family, but it also raises their social status in the community because now people respect them more because they are able to earn an income. Anytime there's a question, we'll just raise it. So I'll begin reading, if I can, my contact's moving, and then I'll have to ask you to read.
Could you please
Yeah.
explain it just a little for all this? Okay, please.
Show me where you are. Show me where. Here?
I didn't come.
Oh, because you were not here?
Show me a little.
Okay. So, since Prabhu's not here, why don't we just go back to page. I am having a problem with my contact lens, I'm sorry. So I'm going to ask you to read it, page 51, but it's good to review. So each one of you read it, you will give the answers, and then Prabhu, if you have a question, you can ask me or the other student. So Bear, we'll start with you with number 1. On 50.
number
Number 1 on 50.
น้องกลับไปข้อหนึ่ง
number 1
Yeah.
a poor woman has an idea to lift her and her family out of poverty.
Yes, poverty. So lift, part of speech.
Verb
Okay, meaning?
meaning get them out, rise up.
Good.
Or
Rise up, raise. Question?
rise up แล้วพระอาทิตย์ขึ้น sunset sunlight อะ
Mean get out from the poor house.
Yes, but don't, because the sentence is, would you read the sentence again, Mary, because I can't see it. A poor woman,
52 page
no, yeah, would you put 51, would you
51
read the sentence again?
number 1
Yeah,
a poor woman
yeah.
has an idea to lift her and her family out of poverty.
Okay, yeah, so in other words, they're in poverty, and she has an idea how she can lift them out of poverty. If you lift out of poverty, you have enough money at least to live on, to have some food, a place to live. Okay? Okay, DD number 2.
The primary goal of Garmin Bank and other similar programs is the education of eradication of poverty.
Okay, eradication, part of speech.
Part of speech. Now,
Good, good morning. Now, good. And?
possible meaning remove.
Exactly. So if you eradicate something, you wipe it out completely. So the point of these programs is to try to eradicate poverty. Get rid of all poverty. Let's suppose we say in this country of Thailand, 10% of the people, just throughout, are in poverty. If we want to eradicate poverty, we want to be sure that there's no percent of our people in poverty.
To remove all.
Remove, yeah. Eradicate is a word used in English many different ways, in many different contexts, but always means to wipe out, completely remove. All right, Yung, 3. We're on page 52, Prod.
As poverty has decreased, There have been some surprising secondary effects of micro-lending programs. Perhaps the main subsidiary effect has been a change in the social status of women. Part of speech adjective.
Good.
Possible meaning secondary.
Exactly. Subsidiary, secondary. Yes. In other words, this is the major effect and this is the minor effect, but it's the next one. And I'm very glad that Nadi, I remember you mentioned when we did this one that you were thinking of a bank, and you were correct, because we may say it can be used this way too, Pra. Here's the main bank and these are subsidiaries. Okay?
Yes.
All right, Nadi, the next one, please.
Number 4, chipping into the global fund for the women. This fund has given $37 million to over 2,500 women group. Its gift grant, not loan. The money is given, not lent fund. Fund is the noun. It's the verb. I'm not sure that it's the noun. Nouns.
Noun is the name of something. A grant is the name of something. It's a noun. And the meaning, Nadi?
Is the meaning money for give people.
Yeah,
Not rent.
that's good money. It's just a body of money.
Yeah.
A fund is just, it's a grant, it's just money that's given and not lent to people. Usually it comes from some major fund that has been established for a particular purpose. So let's say a rich person establishes a fund because he is interested in research in cancer. Okay? Now, a person, a doctor or somebody else, writes a proposal, applies to the fund, and says, if I get this money, this is the research on cancer I will do. If the fund reviews it and says, okay, that's worthwhile, then the fund will grant that person, maybe say, here's $20,000. And then the person who gets the grant has to show, of course, what he or she does with the money.
So the fund and grants is the same meaning, or?
No, excuse me, not exactly. Okay, a fund is started for lots of reasons, often for research. So I've heard many times, somebody in a family dies of a certain disease. So the person wants to start a fund to get research to cure that disease. Clear so far? No, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so then they make a big collection maybe, they get $1 million together. Now we have a fund. Now we have a fund for research on lung cancer. Now, where's that money going to go? We tell people, you write a proposal on what you would do with the money. You send your proposal to the foundation or the fund. If somebody decides that your proposal is good, you will be given a grant. A grant is the money you get. Now, people want a grant so that they don't have to work. They can devote themselves full-time to research. Maybe a grant is given for art. Maybe somebody who's very interested in Thai art says, I'm going to have a fund for the promotion of Thai art. Someone writes a proposal or shows his artwork, and in order for me to work full-time on Thai art, I need a grant. So maybe he'll get it. But a grant is not paid back. That's the big difference.
Yes, mean that the fund is the money that we collect.
Yes,
Or-
yes,
and
yes.
Grant is money
The person gets. The grant is the money the person gets.
we not lend, we just give and not.
Right. Yes, that's right. Sometimes for, yes, exactly. It's very often grants are given for research because somebody wants research done in some area. Okay? Nadia. Oh, did you just do the next one? No.
Number 5
Okay. 5.
is please be careful planning and cooperation. Most people use the money well and then borrow money to dollars back into their community.
Okay. Part of speech for plow.
In the verb,
Verb. And what does it mean?
it means put back money.
That's right. So what they're saying is that most people who get grants end up putting the money back into the community in some way or other. All right?
Put the money back. And how about knowledge?
How about what?
Knowledge. They say.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, the knowledge. So I've gotten a grant to do research on breast cancer, and I find out a lot of information. That's my way of putting what I got back into the community, because now in the medical field they have knowledge on breast cancer they didn't have before. I'm just giving you an example. Clear? Okay. Banking on poor women. Well, this is very embarrassing, class, but once I might have to.
Knowledge meaning the profit from research, right?
Pardon me?
Knowledge. You talk about the foundation.
Yes. The knowledge would be, I get a grant, I do the research, and that knowledge I give back.
Community.
Yeah, in different ways. It can be indirect. Suppose I use research on a medical field. I use breast cancer, it could be anything. I don't just keep that knowledge myself. Maybe I give it back to some society for cancer. But one way or the other, the knowledge I get is going to go back to the community. If you get a grant, you have to very carefully explain what you did with that money. No. I have to check what number's on here.
4, 5.
Okay.
5.
Yeah. I'm going to have to. Well, this is embarrassing, folks. I have to run next door and put in a new contact. Excuse me.
In the middle, outside in the
Yeah, I know. I'll just go right next door. I'm just. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
มันแห้งไหมเย็นไหมไม่ได้ใส่หรอ
ไม่ได้ใส่แกบอกว่าใส่
ไม่ได้ใส่หรอวันนี้ลืมใส่หรอ
แกบอกว่าหรือบอกให้ช่วยอ่านหน่อยเพราะว่าแกไม่ได้ใส่
ชื่อไปใส่ห้องนู้นอ่ะ
ไม่จบลอง
ถ้าใส่ห้องนี้ชื่ออะไร
บอกให้แกไปใส่หน้าห้อง
คอนแทคเลนส์นะ
คอนแทคเลนส์
ใส่ให้เห็นนะ
ใส่ให้เห็น
ถ้าไปมองแกหรอ
เดี๋ยวไปมองใครไปมอง
ถ้าเดี๋ยวเขาไม่มา
อมน่าอันตรายนะ
ไม่อันตรายหรอกยิ่งใส่เลยโดนก่อนอ่ะแต่ว่ามันจะทำให้ตาเราแห้งก็ต้องไปรักษาตาอีก
ถ้าใส่จะแห้ง
ใส่แล้วมันแห้งนานๆจะแห้งแต่กลายเป็นโรคตาแห้งอ่ะบางคนก็ไม่รู้ไงใช่ไหมแต่
ที่จริงตาเปียกไม่ดีนะใช่ไหม
ไม่ใช่
ตามปกติเป็นปกติ
ถ
ตาเปียกคือที่จริงแล้วตา
อ๋อ
ต้อง
ใช่เรามีน้ำหล่อเลี้ยงไงแต่ที่
น้ำตาเนี่ยไม่ดี
เขาจะมีน้ำตาเทียมให้เราใช่ไหมแต่บางคนเขาไม่ชอบหยอดเนี่ยแล้วก็จะอยู่ออฟฟิศอย่างเงี้ยมันแห้งมันแห้งแล้วพอเลิกใส่มันจะเป็นโรคตาแห้งแต่บางคนเขาไม่รู้ไงแต่พอไปหาหมอแล้วหมอบอกมันจะเป็นโรคตาแห้งก็ต้องรักษาไอ้ปริมาณน้ำตาใหม่เนี่ยเขาก็ต้องหยอดตาให้เราอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
เดี๋ยวนี้ก็เริ่มตาแห้งเดี๋ยวนี้มาดูใช้สายตาเครื่องอะ
ตาแห้งเลย
มันก็มาใส่เหมือนฝรั่ง
ดูแต่ตาคนเองก็ว้า
อันนี้มันจะทันละชอบกระเป๋านะบางทีลืม
อะไรตัว
โอ้วันนี้ขาเยอะเนาะห้องนั้นก็ไม่มี
ฝนตกฝน
ฝนตก
ฝนหนัก
ว่าจะไม่มาแล้วนั่งรถรถติด
ตกมานอนยังไงต้องมา
2 วันแล้วไม่มา
ต้องมาไปกันทีเดียวยังมีกลุ่มใหม่มาไม่เดียวต้องแจ้ง
พี่เรียนอยู่ไหนบัดซีสุดารัตน์อ๋อเรียนบัดซี
ฮะตกใจต้องเรียนแต่ตัวที่จะแก่จะไปแกบอกว่าไม่เป็นอาทิตย์
นะ
Sorry, class, thank you.
be okay.
Yeah, my contact was coming out, had a good morning.
How long is it?
Pardon?
How long is can you in Thailand? You can use 1 month.
Mine are daily,
Oh,
one day.
one day.
It's good because you can change.
It means one day we take off and put a new one.
No, when I go to sleep at night, I take it out.
And then when you wake up, you put.
Put a new one in.
Can you see well?
Pardon?
Can
Yes,
you see
everything's fine.
Teacher, sorry, how much for one day? How much?
I forget honestly because I buy such big packages that last for a year. Because I have to, especially like when I'm coming here, I have extra boxes. So I will look it up today. I'll let you know, really. What happened is, I don't want to bore you with this story, but I used them for many, many years. And one year when I worked in Burma, I got a bad infection, and Burma has no labs. So the doctor there did her best, but there were no labs for her to send it to see what was wrong. So my eye got kind of damaged, and that's why the doctor in the States then said, I should start using the daily ones. So now you know the story of my contact lenses. Okay, so here we go. Banking on poor women. For many people, I'm going to read it and then you will read, okay? For many people, there seems to be no escape from poverty. In other words, they are poor and they have no hope that this will ever change. In addition, they have the social problems of poverty. Among them, low social status, violence, poor health, and lack of education. So those are the things that go with poverty, which are difficult to change. I mean, look at the lack of education. Often, like even I mentioned Africa because there I was with the very poorest people. There were women there, and what they did in this town I was in, the village, all day long they chopped rocks. Rocks they chopped, often a little child next to them, the sun pouring down, and they made the equivalent of like 50 cents a day for working all day. Their children could not even go to the government schools because they didn't have money for uniforms. You had to have money for a uniform and maybe even just a basic notebook and a pencil. And if you're making 50 cents a day, they didn't have money for that too. So this is some of the things that happens with poverty. All right. Imagine this situation. A poor woman has an idea for a small business to lift herself and her family out of poverty. She needs a little money to begin this business. She goes to a bank to borrow the money, and the banker interviews her. At this bank, as at most banks, the borrower must meet 3 necessary conditions: character, capacity, and collateral. That is, if this woman wants to borrow money from the bank, she must show that one is honest, has character; 2, is able to run her business, has capacity; and 3, owns a house, land, or something valuable, has collateral for the bank to take if she can't pay back the money. So what happens to the woman? The bank won't lend her the money because she doesn't have any collateral. In such a situation, there seems to be no way for the woman to break the cycle of poverty and the problems that are associated with it. Any question before you begin reading?